when I finished my first great tournament ever, finished second at the Byron Nelson to keep my card as a rookie. Big deal for me. I'm getting married the next Saturday. Jim Nance is calling the whole thing. Shigeki Maruyama wins. I finished second alone, and a guy named Tiger Woods, don't know if you've heard of him, finishes third. And Jim is calling it, and I make par at the last hole, make about a 4-footer, and he says, "Who wants to finish second alone?" I do. Congratulations to Ben and Heather Crane getting married this Saturday.
Wow.
And it was just...
You're listening to Studio 22. Thank you guys so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to leave a like.
Subscribe and hit the bell for notifications for more future content.
He says, "Who wants to finish second alone?" I do. Congratulations to Ben and Heather Crane getting married this Saturday.
Wow.
And it was just so Jim Nance. It was so smooth. Okay. Fast forward, we're friendly, whatever. I see him in Park City, Utah, and I'm down on a mat doing these weird crunches. Okay. And I'm in Park City, skiing, at this random place at this random time, whatever. And Jim Nance is walking through the weight room, whatever. And he looks down and goes, "Ben, how's Heather and the kids?" And I'm like, this guy, you can't get him off his game.
Oh, man. He's amazing.
He's unbelievable.
That's what he's saying, is that he could literally list, 100 players, golfers. He can go on hour tangents of each one.
Yeah.
And he knows everything about it. He's like, I could talk all day, and it's nothing to him. I'm like, dude, what is going on in your brain?
Where those files are placed, it's incredible.
And it's like perfectly organized too,
Yeah.
Yeah, like the importance of knowing the players that he's, talking about, right? It's like knowing what to say and when, and just having that data bank is really impressive.
Yeah.
What were you saying?
No, I was also going to say and also how he handles pressure, right? He was talking about how much anxiety he had early on, but even moments like at the Niners Super Bowl, when the power went out.
Yeah.
And he's like, "What the hell do I do?" Basically, everyone's freaking out and he can't hear anything in the headphones. And so he's like, when stuff like that happens, just calm down, think, and then react. And so he said, power's out. Cameras are still on. No one knows what's going on. And he just casually leans over, sees a mic on the ground, casually leans over, picks it up and says, "Is this thing working?" And then keeps going.
Yeah.
Like nothing ever happened. They thought that they rehearsed it. It was so perfect. I'm like, dude, that is one of the coolest things on the biggest platforms, most eyeballs you could possibly have on you to do. And it's just
coolness under pressure.
Yeah. Jim Nance is one cool dude, man.
He is.
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah. And now we're sitting across from another cool dude, Ben Crane.
Absolutely.
Dude, thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it, guys.
Yeah. Great. Welcome to Studio 22.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So you graduated from University of Oregon. Can you kind of take us back to that time and, share with us what it took to make the PGA Tour and some of your experiences in college?
Yeah, it was a unique journey. I grew up in Portland, Oregon. Not a lot of golfers from Portland, Oregon. Played with my grandpa occasionally at Portland Golf Club. He had 3 old cronies that he would play with at Portland Golf Club, and every once in a while, one of those guys would be gone, and I would get the spot in the group, and we would play for a dime a hole, double or nothing on an 18. So it was huge pressure. I was dealing with huge pressure as a 10-year-old, but I caught a break when I was about 13, and one of those old cronies died for me, and I got his spot. So that was awesome.
You got the official spot on the
I got the official spot, so I got to play for the big bucks, and just grew up loving the game. Played all sports until about 14 years old, and I was going to be in the NBA, and then I realized I was like the 3rd best point guard on my team. My vertical is about 15 inches, and I'm like, this just doesn't seem like it's really getting a lot of traction here. So I went all in on golf, and I love golf because you could practice it as much as you wanted. You could you didn't need a team, and so I would just spend literally all day at the course, and just there's so many different aspects of the game, and so I would just grind on every aspect and just try to get better and better. So was my senior year in college. I knew I wanted to play golf professionally. Wasn't really a standout college golfer, but just prided myself on getting better every year. And every time I saw someone who I thought was working harder than me, I just said, all right, it's time to up my game. But I remember when I took that last final at University of Oregon and I walked out the door, I had a Tahoe and I had it packed. I finished that final and I drove across the country to Florida to play like a mini tour where you basically gamble for your own money, $1,000 a week entry fee and all that. And my girlfriend, now my wife, Heather, and I would just take shifts, and she would drive and I would sleep and vice versa and get across the country. But I got to play golf every day as long as I wanted, practice as long as I wanted. And 2 years after that, I was able to make it to the PGA Tour, which was just a dream. People always said, when did you know you're good enough to play on the PGA Tour? I said, the day I made it. I never knew. And then I won, a little over a year later. When did you know you're good enough to win on the PGA Tour? The day I won. I didn't know. I wasn't one of the sure things by any means, but just kept grinding, kept working hard.
That's incredible.
Yeah, that's what it takes, right? Yeah. Was there anything that you did, any habits you created, or was it just like, let me put my head down and work hard? Were there any things you do on even a daily basis to make yourself the golfer you are?
Yeah, I always would try to list out daily, weekly, monthly, what I felt like my weaknesses and my strengths were. And a lot of people will work on weaknesses, and it's important to work on weaknesses and lift them up. But I always wanted to maintain my strengths. And when I was learning to play golf, we didn't become a member of the club until we were on the waiting list for about a year and a half. And so all I could do at that club was hit golf balls and putt. But you can't hit golf balls all day. So I would literally spend almost the entire day on the putting green. And for years there, I would just putt. And I developed to be a great putter. And I've led the PGA Tour in putting, 2 or 3 years. And that's always been the strength of my game. And so I just never tried to move too far away from my strength. Yes, build more speed. Yes, work on your distance wedges, these things, whatever. But it was always to maintain my strength for my strength, because I wasn't Ben Crane the golfer unless I was putting well. If I was going to win a golf tournament, it was going to be because my strength was exceptional and my weaknesses were managed.
Yeah, I think that's such a important lesson in life too. Is we've talked about that in just kind of other various episodes and in life in general, kind of knowing what you're good at, knowing what you can improve on. But that's interesting too. Like, I feel like the more common answer is like, turn your weaknesses into strengths, or like improve your weaknesses. But that makes so much more sense to me to like maintain strengths and do that, because like focus what you're good on.
Exactly. Like, find your passion, find what you love, and go that direction, and try to delegate the other stuff when you can, right? That's what a lot of the books say, what we're learning, and it's more fun too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even like running a company, you mitigate the right stuff, and then helps you grow even more. I want to go back in time a little bit, if it's cool. I want to know how you guys met and when, you and Will.
Yeah. So 2005, Will was 15 years old. We went to Iron Horse, to Discovery Property in Whitefish, Montana, for a family vacation, and met Mike and Will and Hunter, and just had a wonderful time. And really, Discovery, we learned, was birthed out of Mike wanting to enjoy his time with his kids and have it be a relaxed, fun atmosphere. And so we got to kind of see that transpire. And when we went to Iron Horse, we're like, this is the coolest vibe I've ever been around. And we just had so much fun. We went on a really fun fishing trip together, played golf together, laughed together, and just had a wonderful time as families. And that was kind of the beginning of our friendship.
Yeah, and that's like kind of around the time when Outdoor Pursuits was kind of created for Discovery, with, my dad having 2 boys with tons of energy and, early teens. It's like, okay, we need to, get a wakeboard boat while he can do his meetings during the day. And, whether in the winter, snowboarding, whatever it is, it's just kind of getting out there. And like you said, including the family in the work trip. And even if he was kind of booked solid through the day, we could always get together at night and get all our energy out during the day. But yeah, it kind of, and Ali earlier was telling us a little bit about the advancements in Outdoor Pursuit and what they got going on here at Troubadour. But just to kind of give that more context, I feel like that's where Outdoor Pursuits really got developed.
And it's just so incredible that when I have 4 young kids, when I can bring my kids out here and they really want to come to the golf course, they want to come, to the Outdoor Pursuits, they want to do all that Discovery has to offer. It just makes it a unique environment where, we can thrive as, professionals, where we can really enjoy ourselves to the fullest when we know our family's taken care of. In fact, this is where they want to be. And, this is where we want to reside as well, with the greatest food and the greatest golf course setup and amenities, as well as greatest stuff for the kids.
That's great. Yeah, yeah. Do you have a favorite Discovery property that you've been to?
Man, whatever one I'm at is always my favorite Discovery. Like that. So thankfully we live here in Nashville and spend the most time here at Troubadour. So this has been really special to see this, come into its own with its own unique, vibe. It's amazing how Discovery does such a good job of taking the local, atmosphere, whatever's going on in this, part of town, in this, area. They really do a good job of implementing that, even, from the name Troubadour, traveling music poet, so it's pretty cool to see all the musicians out here, all the people who, just want to be here in town. It's a pretty special retreat.
Yeah. I definitely think all the properties are that's what's so cool about them is when you go to El Dorado, you're getting this awesome, incredible Cabo experience. When you go to Yellowstone, you've got the mountain, you've got, everything up there as well. It's just like each spot is so cool and unique in its own right, but exactly what you're saying, it's not like it's transplanted and it doesn't fit, everything fits perfectly. And then if you want to venture out, which you don't even need to, like Troubadour has everything you're ever going to need and more, right? But venturing out, if you love live music, you love great food, it's all within a short driving distance. And it just makes everything, this is living.
Speaking of kind of the local communities and the surrounding areas, I mean, the Discovery Land Company Foundation, I know you've been really involved with that and some of your own nonprofits. Can you share some of the journey with that?
Yeah. In 2005, when we went to Iron Horse and met your dad, and we asked him about potentially holding a charity event at Vaquero in the early days. We were one of the first people that lived at Vaquero. We lived at Vaquero for 12 years. And it was a great place to kind of travel the tour out of, it being central there in Dallas. And we asked your dad about potentially having a charity event and would he support us and help us? And he was just all about it. He thought it was a great idea. And so we had a couple of charities, one for kids who have been trafficked, another for boys without dads, and some foster care stuff. And so your dad came along and donated the course and the staff for us. And we just had this incredible event. Matt Rose was so supportive from BNSF, and many of our friends came, and we raised $50,000, and we thought it was the greatest event ever. We did that for a few years, had wonderful, continued to grow. And after a few years, we asked Mike if he would be willing to take it on at Hideaway or Madison or one of the other properties and really do it for, Discovery. And because Discovery moves in and really tries to make a difference in the local community, particularly through foster care and kids who have aged out of foster care. It's just such a beautiful thing, not just to come in and kind of, close the gates, whatever, but to really pour into the local community. And so it's been sweet to see, and the event start at Madison Club, and all the, the LA crowd and all of Mike's friends come and donate and put up auction items. And we just have, and then Kelly James makes it, the most fun, unbelievable atmosphere, rips on everyone. Nothing's out of bounds, Kelly James. So it's just been spectacular to see Discovery just come into its own and really just give millions and millions of dollars back to these kids who really don't have, they don't have someone in their life who is fighting for them. And then all of a sudden, Discovery comes alongside of them and gets them what they need, and particularly a mentor, someone to fight for them and fight with them and walk with them. So it's pretty sweet to see this all transpiring right in front of us.
Yeah, I think, giving back to the local communities is just, something that you have to do, right? I mean, if you're going to live or exist in an area, it's, and you have the, the capabilities to do so, I think it's something that's got to happen. But yeah, speaking of the Madison tournament, I think the very first Madison tournament, I believe I won the tournament with the Entourage guys, Jerry Ferrara.
Really?
And because you said LA crowd, I'm like, who's more LA than Entourage? Obviously, we just go out there and have fun and make sure we raise money and all that. But I think the first official tournament, we might have been crowned.
That's great.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite tournament you played, or?
Well, besides the Masters,
yeah.
You kind of you throw that one out, right?
Exactly. Besides, we're not talking about that, right?
That's a great answer.
I think the Players Championship is a really special tournament where we kind of get to make it our tournament. So whatever really benefits the players as far as amenities, as far as what is it that we want, how do we want to run a tournament, really it's done at the Players Championship. The PGA Tour just does an incredible job. And so, they leave dining open late so that, if we finish our round at 6:00 in the evening, we walk into the players' locker room and they have full on buffet. We don't have to, go somewhere, offsite, wait in line, sit down, whatever. They just have it all ready, which is very Discovery like. So they just do a great job. It's the Players Championship is a sweet event, and it's one of the greatest finishes in all of golf. 16, 17, 18. One year I was standing on the 17th tee, which is the island green, and my caddy, I hit my shot, and you're nervous. I was playing well. I think it was in the top 5 going the last day. And if you dump it in the water there, it's really a 2-stroke penalty. It's like hitting it out of bounds almost. I'm standing on the 17th tee. I'm so nervous. You're like, okay, I'm going to look at the center of the green, but I really want to take on this flag, but it's a little risky to take on the flag. I hit a pretty good shot to about 20 feet. I walk over to my caddy, and he's kind of looking at me like, he's just kind of reading me like, how nervous are you? And I said, I look at him like, you want to know? And so I take my pulse and I look at his watch. What do you think my pulse was right after I hit on 17 in the hunt Sunday?
I have no idea. You want to take a guess?
What's 172?
So 100 is nervous.
Yeah.
160 is like almost going all out. Like, when you're working out,
Yeah.
50 to 65 is probably resting. My pulse is 145.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I might run a little more nervous than some of these guys, but now with the Whoop band, you kind of know the numbers a little more. Whatever.
Yeah.
But it's nerve wracking. I mean, it matters.
Wow.
You care, and it's exciting.
Yeah, my guess was off because I just don't know the actual numbers for that, but I'm glad you explained it, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, I was definitely going to hit around the 140, 150 area because that's just I mean, you can't go much harder than that, and if you do, your heart's going to explode.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going 200, I hope you're not over 25 years old because your heart might explode.
Pushing it, right?
Okay, yeah.
That's insane. It's not like you're doing hardcore sprints 24/7, right? You're just
standing there hitting the golf ball.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh man, that sounds like a lot of fun. What would have been some of the biggest challenges as far as chasing this, career?
I think, you early on, you start out playing professional golf and it's just you and your wife and it's just a dream. It's an adventure. You're just trying to hone your craft. You have all the time in the world. And then all of a sudden we started introducing kids. We have 4 kids and you kind of have this divided time where you're trying to be, more efficient with your time. You want to be a good dad. You want to be present. You also want to be present for your wife. You don't want to always be on and playing too many golf tournaments where you can't, shut it all off, let down and relax and do other things, because you just burn out. And so I think that's one of the biggest challenges is just, how do I organize my time? How do I organize my days in a way that I'm giving myself the best opportunity to perform well, but I'm also having a life and building into my wife, building into my kids in a way that blesses them, honors them, and serves them so that we're thriving as a family. Because if you get to the end and your kids have lacked something, and you haven't been with your kids, sometimes people spell love time, and it's like if you're not with your kids, you're really not serving them, and you're really not setting them up to fulfill their dreams. So I think that's something that's always just been important to me is really to make sure I'm always pouring into them with my time.
It's incredible. Yeah. And I mean, Jim Nance said it the other day, time's our most valuable currency, right? So especially with kids, they don't know anything other than time, right? And your time with them for the most part when they first start. So, and how you show up for them. So it's really cool to hear how you balance work life and family life.
Yeah. I don't always do it well. My son, one of my middle kids is 13 years old and he went and played in this tournament last week. He shot his 2 best rounds ever. His best round ever was 77. He shot it in the tournament.
Whoa.
Previous best round in the tournament was 85. So he shoots 77. We're thrilled to death. He goes to round 2. This is the biggest tournament they'll play all year. He's in middle school. And on the last day, he shoots 71.
What?
And we're like, oh my gosh. And we're literally like floating out of that place. And their team ends up winning by 1 stroke.
No.
And we're just so thrilled. And then his sister asks him about it and says, so you're telling me that you shot your 2 best rounds ever and your team won by 1 stroke. And because of you, your team won the championship. And he said, no, there's 4 scores that count. We all pitched in. And I'm like, That's even better.
Yeah.
And to celebrate, we had a family dinner and we were just excited. And then I was kind of on my phone with something, whatever. And my son looks at me and goes, Dad, I thought it'd be cool if we went to Jenny's and just took the Bronco and went to ice cream together. He said, but would you mind if we go no phone? And I kind of like frustrated, like, but proud, like, yeah, that would be a good idea, whatever. I'm like, but I just love the fact that he called me out and it needed to happen. I'm like, I need to get off my phone. And we just sat in the Bronco and ate ice cream and just kind of we're just so grateful for, what a fun day he had. It was a huge victory for him in golf.
That's incredible. Now you guys have that memory forever.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. It's so easy to get sucked into your phone, whether it's work life or social media or anything like that. So it's nice when you can balance and really pull back and realize, holy crap, I've been on my phone for 12 hours today. Like, what is going on? And it affects your life, definitely, majorly. So, but then at the same time, you got to do it a lot of times. You know what I mean? It's part of the game, part of the process.
For sure.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the answer to the next question is kind of hidden in some of the past ones, but what advice would you give to golfers that are starting out and trying to, achieve a PGA card?
I think that, starting out, one of the most important things is to keep it simple and to not look. It's so easy to get on the range and to look at Justin Thomas and to look at, these other guys, Jordan Spieth and, some of the best players in the world and be like, I want to be like that. But you got to be you. You know what I mean? You really have to operate out of your own strengths. You need to keep it simple. It shouldn't be overwhelming. And you should have fun doing it, And so I think that putting a small team together in a way that you're, really taking care of every category from your short game to your long game to your physical health and training and recovery, but also your mind. And if you're doing those at a pretty good clip, if you're taking care of those things, then the performance generally comes. And so I think that's really the key for young players coming out is really because then you're not really caught off guard when something goes wrong. You can fall back on your team, you can rely on them, and they can, nudge you down the right path. And with that generally comes results.
That's great advice.
I found a lot of similarities between, golf and just life in general. The more I hear people talk about it that are in, the space that you are at high level. And I love hearing, working on your health, your mental game, everything all together. Because it's like, look at you apply that to your normal life, your life experience gets better just cruising along because you're doing the work. That's the thing. You're doing the work, you're showing up, you're putting in the time, and you're getting rewarded for it because of that. And it's the more and more I speak to people about golf, especially, the more I fall in love with it, it makes it that much cooler and that much more enjoyable. And I know in the past couple of years, it's been a big shift in getting younger people to come in and making it more fun. And properties like this, and Troubadour, it make it so much more fun, and that's what this is all about, having a good time, being healthy, and achieving your goals,
I really think Discovery has had so much of a factor in making golf fun throughout the world, really, because a lot of the players have come to these properties, right? And they share those social media, being at Baker's, being here, being at the different properties and showing that they're having fun. It's relaxed. There's no dress code. They got their shirts off, right? They're having a few drinks. They're playing their music. And kids are like, that's fun. You know what I mean? It's like Discovery has such a place in the golf world, for this golf boom, right? Happened during COVID, partly because golf can be fun. And a lot of players who are the best in the world are showcasing that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the first time I really golfed ever was at El Dorado and we were in board shorts, and it ended up hitting a birdie my first time, right? So
par 5 on 5.
Yeah. And it was a great time, and it's knowing that you can't necessarily go to another golf course that isn't Discovery for the most part and have that same experience, just having fun, teeing off with your shoes off and sun shining, having a couple drinks, having a good time with your friends. It's like, those are memories that I hold on to because I am truly enjoying my life in that moment. All you're focusing on is just having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People say, what's your favorite tournament, this and that? But often I say, do you want to know my favorite golf experience? And they're like, yeah. And I said, well, my favorite golf experience in the world is Madison Club. It's the greatest golf experience. I'd much rather go there than Augusta National. Augusta National, I'm very careful. I'm trying not to get in trouble. I'm trying not to be on my phone. I'm trying not to, I'm walking on eggshells.
Yeah.
When I'm at Madison Club, when I'm at, McKenna, when I'm, at these places, I'm so relaxed. We're having fun. We're laughing. We're playing a 7-sum, and we're just literally having the best time. And we're having the greatest food.
Yep.
And we're hitting Pro V1s on the range. It is the greatest golf experience in the world.
That's incredible. Would you
That's
say
amazing to hear?
Would you say that's helped your golf game, being able to have a space where you can really relax and have fun, or is it more you need the high pressure? What is it for you?
Yes, for 2 reasons. And the first is because this is a great place to practice, right?
Yeah.
Because they do make it fun. The food is incredible. The gym is, next level. The therapy, the treatment they have here, it's all encompassing here. So that's great. The other thing that makes it great is that my family comes with me. So I'm not away from them the entire time that I am in grind mode trying to get ready for a golf tournament.
How do you think Troubadour compares to other Discovery properties?
Troubadour is amazing. It's young and it's kind of coming up with its own vibe. We had some existing memberships that are catching up to what Discovery is like, right? They hadn't been to a lot of the other Discovery properties, but now just, we've got our first building. We're starting the staff is starting to just really deliver as far as food, amenities, and the Discovery way. And so the sales here have been incredible because, people believe and know Discovery. They know what's coming and it's coming, right? And so now we've got this great staff and we've got this incredible golf course that Fazio put together with Zoysia and Bentgrass. And it's just a fun golf course. It's not overly hard. It's just a fun golf course to play. And the conversations are some of the best in all of Discovery. So we're on our way, in a year or two when we have the clubhouse and the gym and the amenities start, being delivered and some of the new homes start coming in, it's going to have even more incredible feel.
Love hearing that. Yeah. I mean, we had a great experience up at the restaurant last night, this being our first night really here to go up there and experience it, but it's got to sit on the patio, beautiful view. Everyone's so nice. I mean, I got to bring my dog, it's just beautiful.
There's something about, I really think I've talked to a lot of people. This is probably the best piece of property in all of the Nashville area. The elevation, the rolling hills, the trees, it's just spectacular. Just sit up, by the clubhouse and look out, with a fire going and the music going, right? And the Casamigos flowing. It's just, it's like, little ranch water. Like this will work.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
And it's pretty cool hearing, just a couple years ago that it was a farm, right? And the transition from that to this community that is second to none. Really, it's the conception of it, the idea of it. Here we go, tongue twister. But it's amazing, like what Mike has been able to do, and now obviously everyone involved too. But to take something that is essentially nothing, it's very simple to create this. And look at what it's done. It's changed lives of so many people and life experience. And it's only getting better.
I know.
It's so crazy. Yeah.
I always think of like the Madison Club too, as you mentioned. I mean, that was just a flat desert. And, they literally built it kind of into the ground and shaped it from just a flat canvas. I think they moved over 4 million cubic tons of dirt or something like that. Right?
Which is double more than Shadow Creek moved, which was previously the most ever moved. Dirt moved to build a golf course.
Wow.
There we go.
It really is spectacular to see what has been done before and after, with the Madison Club.
Yeah, definitely.
Are you a fan of music, live music?
I am.
Yeah.
And around here, you get spoiled. You go to the Ryman, you go to some of these places, and a lot of the musicians live here, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, Will, like you were saying, this is his first time here, and we haven't got to go to Nashville yet, but I've come to Nashville quite a few times, and it's like you can't go anywhere without someone playing something amazing. And some of these people are next level or even big artists that are just, you walk into a bar and there's 20 of them down the line. And you're like, are they playing right now? Is this really going on?
Yeah.
And then first floor, second floor, third floor, it's a different music on everyone. This is one of the coolest cities that I've been to in America, realistically, that I think everyone should experience at some point,
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It's really cool. When you walk into some of, like you said, some of the smallest bars, the Bluebird Cafe, you walk into some of these places and you're like, wait a minute, that's, maybe the, best singer-songwriter, of the time or, whoever it is, but you're like, dude, I know these songs that's them. Like it's just a cool spot that, you get surprised a lot. It's pretty cool.
That's what Brett Young was telling us the other day is, just you can go in and everyone is talented. I mean, it's exactly what you guys are saying. It's like, you never know who you're going to see. And, that's, he did it for about a decade and then kind of got his record deal after he came to Nashville and kind of did the circuit out here. But I'm very excited to go out and experience the music because I love my live music as well. And
you guys are going to do a concert this week, right? Are you guys going?
Well, we're supposed to go to Bieber tomorrow night and then maybe Kid Rock Saturday.
Yeah, that's pretty strong, right?
Yeah, it was super strong right out of the gate.
Yeah, depending on like everything we can get done. But that's, just to hear those two artists playing, in a couple of days of each other. It's all pretty crazy.
Yeah, and that's got to be a constant carousel of music and talent coming through here all the time.
Yeah.
I'm excited to go. Go check it out. It'd be crazy.
Oh, and Luke Bryan's been such a huge force out here. Just really, bought a lot of lots early. He's just such a wonderful guy. I don't know if you guys have seen his documentary, but it's just spectacular. He's been through a lot. He's just wonderful, and he's been great for the property. So it's really fun to have him involved like this.
Yeah, I know. I got to watch it.
Yeah, I'm going to check that out. Yeah, we were with him at Stagecoach about 3 years ago. 3 years ago?
Yeah, Madison Club.
And he's headlining, and he's having a great time golfing. And then that guy is a workhorse, man. He's golfing, doing his thing, about to headline one of the biggest country music festivals in the U.S. And then straight from there, flies and does American Idol at like 6 a.m. the next morning or something like that. I'm like, dude, that guy is getting it.
Buddy, and in the documentary, you'll see the constant for him has really just been work ethic. Like he just, when you don't take no for an answer and you just keep grinding and it's amazing to see, and it's inspiring when you see people work really hard. And that's really behind almost all successful people like Jim Nance. And it's really cool to see a little bit of that story of just work ethic, just the day after day. The days are long, but the years are short. You got to get it. You got to get after it. And that consistent long obedience in the same direction, it's just rewarded.
Yeah, that's something that me and Will talk about often, and how success leaves clues. And that's why it's so fun talking to so many people, because it's a very similar line, regardless of what profession you're working in. It's work hard, stay focused, get your mind right, and just do what you have to do to get there. But like you said, you got to lose sleep. You got to be able to put in the hours, have the time, and just go do it. And it makes all the difference.
Yeah. What's today's win, right? What am I going to do today to move the needle to get a first down? To keep moving the ball down the field.
I heard it a little while ago, and it's be patient with your long-term goals and impatient in your day-to-day to get there, versus what most of us are beforehand, where it's very impatient with our long-term goals and patient with our day-to-day. And then, a year goes by and you're like, damn, what just happened?
Yeah,
but if you're impatient, exactly, it's you can get done in a month what would take you a year, 2 years, 3 years, if you really just put your head down and grind. Like this podcast, we came up with it in February, and we've got 20 plus in the can, and we're keeping it going. And this trip's been incredible. It's just been a lot of fun.
And I have right here, love and do what you will. And, it's a quote from Saint Augustine in 395 AD, when Rome was sacked by, a group of outsiders. I forget the term for him. But he basically was giving a speech to the people like, don't worry, religion, our faith is not in the buildings, it's inside us. And that was like kind of what sparked Protestantism and like Westernization of the church, kind of way back in the day, like early signs of it, more faith-based than service-based. But, to get like super deep about it, it's like, as long as you have that guiding light of doing what you love and what you're passionate about, you can basically put yourself through almost anything, right? Because it's in service of your long-term goal of something positive and something good for you.
And exactly what you said, Will, and to bring friends along the way with you has been so cool, and your dad has done that, and I get to see you do that now. It's pretty cool to really do these things out of love, out of joy for them, and then bring your friends with you along the way. It just stirs our soul in the right way.
What is the point of all the accomplishments if you don't get to share it with someone, right? Share it with your family, share it with your friends,
Yeah.
share it with loved ones. It's more enjoyable when everyone gets to enjoy
Mhm.
it. Yeah.
Agreed.
I remember you showed me that app, Bible Verse in Madison. Is that what it's called?
Mhm.
Yeah.
The Bible app.
But yeah. And I've been using it ever since. It's like a good kind of daily dose of Bible verses.
I have that on my Garmin watch. So every morning when I do workouts, it pops up right there. The verse comes up and it's amazing.
Dude,
Yeah.
it's such a game changer. I mean, the scriptures are, it's not like you apply them and they work 88% of the time. Like, I mean, if it really is what it claims to be, it works 100% of the time, and so, it's the most important thing in my life is to be grounded in the word and to be seeking the Lord and trusting him and not, trusting myself because I'm broken and I need help. So I ask for it each day.
Mm. That's awesome. Yeah. Set
Yeah,
the
I love
tone for the
that.
day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. That's something that, you lean into your faith, lean into, like you said, the word, and it can change your entire way that you show up. And just having that positive notation, especially coming from God and from the Bible, there's no better foundation than that. So that's really cool to hear.
You are correct.
Yeah.
That is exactly right.
There is a higher power than me. That is absolutely certain.
That's great.
Yeah.
What do you have coming up?
So I've been hurt for a couple years I broke L4, L5. So I had a stress fracture in my back. So the last, I finally got healthy about 6 months ago. So now I'm trying to kind of get back out on the tour. I'm 46 years old. Got a few years before the Champions Tour, which will be fun. But I'm really trying to do three things: spend time working with Discovery and helping in any way I can to be of service to Discovery. Love and encourage my family. Walk with them in these important years. We got 15, 13, 10, and a little guy we adopted who's 3. And then also to work on my craft and try to get my game back to where it was a few years ago. So those are kind of the big 3 I'm working through.
Incredible. What would you say you've done in your journey to recovery? Is there anything specific or just letting time, or what exactly have you done?
Yeah, so I thought I was going to have surgery to fuse L4, L5 to stabilize that part of my lumbar spine, but I ended up having a French doctor, Guy Voyer, out of France, give me these exercises. I guess there's 8 muscles that attach to your lumbar spine, 4 in the front, 4 in the back. And so he had me do these bizarre exercises with my low abs and with my low back to these long endurance, where I'm hanging my legs off of a wall as I'm hugging the counter, and I got leg weights on, and because the endurance muscles, the erectors are endurance muscles. And so I'm doing these long holds and these different positions to try to really blow up those erector muscles. But in doing it, I've stabilized my spine. And so now I don't hurt anymore. I can play pickleball with your dad. I can do these things that, I really love to do, and I'm not in pain anymore. So I'm really excited about that, starting to train speed and all that. But it took me about a year to really blow these muscles up and to support the lumbar spine. But now I'm healthy and excited again.
You make me want to do that. Get some more back support.
That's definitely one thing that I started focusing on a lot more is recovery exercises and really training in a way that I never had before. I've always kind of attacked it, for me anyways, lifting weights and kind of just going bullheadish in one direction. Now it's like, no, I want longevity. I want to be comfortable in my own body. I want to feel good. And I actually ended up getting a torn meniscus and fractured patella about 2 years ago. And it truly affected my life. Like, at first I thought it was just a little kink or something was going on because I still had a lot of supporting muscle around my knee. And then it just started to wear and wear and wear. And then finally I was like, something's got to be done here. Went and got an MRI, found out the fracture in the torn meniscus. But then I started working on a show, and so grateful for the show, but I had to be like physically as fit as I could get. And
you have your shirt off in a lot of roles.
Exactly.
They don't ask me for that.
Right, lucky you, man. But so I was in the worst shape of my life after this meniscus. I had 3 herniations in my neck, a bunch of tears. It was just like, I'm all lopsided, all messed up. And then my diet fell off, because I couldn't stay consistent in the gym. But through that, I ended up working out, training, doing what I had to do. And then in the middle of that, I'm like, I have to get surgery. I have to fix this meniscus. If I don't fix it, then I'm going to be screwed. My whole body, my back hurts, standing for too long hurts. My knee, I can't do movements. I'm afraid if I got to do a run scene or a jerk, I'm going to make it even worse. So I found alternative methods because I didn't have a 2-week period to recover. from surgery. So I ended up listening to a lot of podcasts, listen to a lot of different methods and listen to people who have had injuries in that space as well. Just like what you're saying with these exercises. Now I'm a huge fan of like, I got to know more. What is it? What can we do?
Yeah.
I found this guy called Knees Over Toes, if you're familiar. So the Knees Over Toes guy, apparently this guy has done more for knees than anyone else has in the last 20 years.
Is that referring knees over toes to the way you squat?
That is one. Yeah. So that's his name. Exactly. The way you squat.
Yeah.
Exactly. So everyone has always referred to don't go over your knees. Now it's actually,
You're supposed to put the knees over the toes.
Yeah, exactly. Look at when you're running and you stop fast, your knee goes, or when you're running downhill or downstairs, or so many movements involve us naturally having to go over. So if we don't train that, and if we don't strengthen and lengthen the tendons, ligaments, muscles, all of it together, then you're actually hindering yourself and opening yourself up for injury.
100%.
Yeah.
I love this guy. I bet he also says that the spine and the shins should be parallel to each other as you squat.
Yeah.
As the knees go forward during the squat, the upper back, your back stays actually parallel to your shins.
Yeah.
And most people think that the knees are supposed to be back and that the back is supposed to be way forward, but that's actually incorrect. So anyway, this guy, Guy Voyer, who has this method called Eldoa, which is this form of creating space in your joints. And it's really helped me. And he's the guy who solved the riddle of my back. Well, he has this method Eldoa that I do every night, and it's just saved my back and create a little space. And they have it for all the different joints, whatever. But I focus on the lumbar spine. That's my weakest point, and it's worked. So
making it a strength now.
Yeah.
I'm
that's
a huge
cool.
fan.
Knees over toes. That's cool.
Yeah. And a lot of different methods too, and that's what I love to do is like you find all these different, no one has all the answers, right? So you find what works for you, works for your body, how you react to it, and then adding. So now I'm going to go study this guy and add that into my routine and just make your whole life experience better. I'm curious to see, honestly, you might even come back stronger than you've ever been, right?
Okay.
And that's what I think that's what your plans are. So it's going to be exciting to see, like, don't let that thing hinder you. How do you work through it and grow from it?
Yeah.
What have I learned from this?
Right.
And I feel better than I've ever felt, honestly. Yeah.
Awesome.
Just doing simple movements.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you guys had Justin Thomas on yet?
No.
Yeah. We're just taking his place.
Yeah,
his
just
house
at
to
Justin
film.
Thomas's house.
Yeah.
But he's an amazing guy. Such an incredible reputation amongst friends on the PGA Tour, but also amazing at his craft. He's not a large man, and to be able to move the ball as far as he does with the technique he does is just really. And then he's got one of the best mental games in the world. So he loves to compete.
Yeah.
One little fun fact about Justin Thomas, randomly, is that when he was at Alabama and he played on the team, you have a qualifier to see who plays in the tournament that week. Okay. So let's say there's 12 guys on the team, and let's say they might exempt one or two players, like, okay, we know this guy's going or that guy's going to the tournament, so he might not have to qualify. But Justin would qualify every single week, whatever, before the tournament. It's probably 12 to 15 tournaments a year, so that they would take 5 guys each week. In his time at Alabama, he never lost a qualifier.
Wow.
He never lost to one guy.
So, and not even just like qualifying, like winning them.
Correct.
Yeah.
And someone said, Justin, like, what are you doing? Like, why are you trying so hard? Why are you grinding so hard to win a qualifier? And he said, if they think they can beat me in practice, they'll think they can beat me in a tournament. Oh man, that is. But I've never heard such a legendary college story. Like, that is so incredible.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, man. That's like some.
I love that.
Yeah. That's like some Kobe stuff. That's like,
Right.
Yeah.
That's a real
Yeah.
next level.
Or Jordan stuff.
Jordan. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people. Yeah.
Yeah.
To me, in my mind, those are like the two of the best competitors, at least in that sport, Kobe and MJ.
And you start to hear like what they did, and they're like, I was competing against myself. I was, trying to be the best version of myself, and I would push myself and other people around me as hard as I possibly could every day.
100%. And that's why, you can have the GOAT discussion, but like it just, no discredit to LeBron. It's just, he doesn't have that Kobe MJ mentality. He's lost too many finals. He's missed too many clutch free throws. But again, I'm not putting LeBron down. I'm just saying like Michael and Kobe are in a classification of their own. And that sounds like them.
Yeah. You can have all the talent in the world, but if there's someone that will outwork you, eventually they're going to outpass the talent, right? So it's just a matter of if you're gifted and lucky enough to have the talent, if you can work at that and build it, you can become the greatest of all time because of that, because of the work ethic. And even if you're not that good, you work hard enough, you'll get there.
Yeah.
You know?
Hell yeah.
All right, I'm going to tell one story real quick.
Love it.
Madison Club, Phil Mickelson story. You guys can use it if you want or not. But I love Phil. He's been an incredible friend over the years, always been very generous. And we were at the Madison Club and we were going to play Brian Zurif and Lefty. And we would play in these money games. And I never really knew how much we were playing for, but it was enough to make me really uncomfortable. And we're in the locker room and we're negotiating, what we're going to play for and all this. And I'm trying to can we just get to the first tee? And finally, right before we settle on how many strokes it's going to be and all this, and right as we settle on it, Zurif says, okay, we get to play from the 2 tees. And Phil's like, no, whatever. And Zurif's like, come on, we got to play for the 2 tees. Let us play for the 2 tees, whatever. And Phil says, okay, fine. And then Phil walks up to Spencer, one of the guys who works there, and one of the pros, and he says, hey, Spencer, go to the start of the second hole and take all the 2 tees and put them right next to the 1 tees on every single hole. Thank you. So we're basically playing the same tees all day.
That's so funny.
That's so Phil, isn't it?
Oh,
Yeah,
that's funny.
That reminds me of like a Titanic Thompson, like old school hustle type story, right? Like just kind of anything you can do to like get that leg up. I love it.
That's hilarious.
Enjoyed
That's
it,
great.
boys.
Yeah, likewise.
Thank you, Ben.
Yeah, it was fun.
Appreciate it.
Great to see you, brother.
Thanks for coming
Pleasure,
on, man. Likewise, man.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to drop a like if you enjoyed the video.
And subscribe and hit the bell for a whole lot more to come.
Thanks for tuning in to Studio 22.